Lately, I've been extremely low-key. I've been hidden. You all haven't seen me, heard from me. You all didn't know what was going on. But today is the day that I reveal what I've been up to, how things in my life have changed. I've recently been evicted. Me and my children. And I now live with my brother and his partner. I'm very grateful, very thankful, although it's been a very trying time. Essentially what happened was when I was living in my old apartment, I just got behind. And on top of getting behind on all of my bills and expenses, my car was broken into. Now, those of you all that have been knowing me for some time, have been a part of the Rugrat family for over a year, you know that my car was broken into last year as well. So that was a minor setback, having to save for parts for the new car, not the new car, save for new parts for the car. So I was Ubering back and forth to work. I was working at a restaurant called Hula Hands. Those of you know that I've been serving for some time and that I actually have a passion for it. But anyway, back to the story. My car had got broken into. So of course, I'm saving for the parts. At this time, single mom, trying to handle it all on my own. I wasn't receiving any type of government assistance. So I was handling food on my own and, just paying everything on my own. Gas in the car, just everything. To now having to Uber back and forth to work. Now, I live 25 minutes away from my house. I'm not making sense, y'all. I worked 25 minutes away from my home. So the Uber was kicking my ass. So I'm forking out $60 a day, $50, $45 on a good day to get back and forth to work. Working doubles, breaking my back to pay these bills and get this part for this car that was vandalized. So I'm thinking everything is going all right. In the meanwhile, to cope, of course I'm smoking weed. I've been smoking since I was 15. So, it felt good to have that to cope. I don't know what it is to not have weed, coping through life and struggles. So, yeah, I'm going back and forth to work, going to work. And one day I see, my car is driving out of the complex while I'm in an Uber on my way to work. Yes, you all, I seen it with my own eyes. You can't make this shit up. It was a very traumatic moment in my life. The irony, that the Most High wanted and needed me to see that. I needed to see that car driving out of the parking lot. It was devastating. But what can you do? It's gone. And those of you all that know, I used to be a sugar baby. And my sugar daddy had bought me that car. So that was technically not my car. So, yeah, to continue the story, the car was stolen. And, you can only imagine this really just put me in an extreme state of panic because at this point, I'm already 3 weeks, a good month behind on my rent. And I was barely able to make the full payment throughout the month. The 4 months prior to me staying or basically the 4 months before me getting evicted, I was literally barely making the payments, like barely making the monthly payment. And I would have a week or maybe a week and a half left to come up with the next payment. Like, I was making payments throughout the month. I was barely already hanging on. And then the car gets broken into, and then the car gets stolen by some fucking YNs that think it's cute to steal people's cars for, not even for a living. Just steal the cars and post the videos on TikTok. Welcome to the year 2025. So, I was constantly living in a state of panic and stress and worrying and just, I was a shell of myself. I could not give myself fully to my children. I mean, things just really took a really dark turn. So I worked even more. And knowing that I can't come home in between shifts, I would have to stay at work all day. Sometimes 12 hours a day. I would work 12s. To come home with $300 just to spend $60 the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Have to make sure the kids are fed. Have to make sure they're clothed. Have to make sure that laundry can be done. You have to pay for laundry. And at the facility, like where we were staying, the laundry facility is advertised as $2.50. However, they're pulling $6.50 out of your account every time you swipe. So you wash, that's $6.50. You're drying, that's $6.50. That's $13, family, for one load of laundry. And not a big load of laundry. On top of that, we were paying for amenities that we never got to use. Amenities that were non-existent. For game and family rooms that didn't even exist on the property, family. For a swimming pool that never got opened. It was very, very stressful. And at this point, of course, I have anxiety about being evicted because I know that I'm being evicted at this point. I can't come up with the money that I'm making the bread, but I can't see the bread. On top of that, dealing with an addiction. On top of that, dealing with depression. Not knowing how to cope properly, not knowing money management, just a lot of different things. Doing it on my own, losing my fucking mind. I was really trying to do my best to hold it together. However, the bills just kept piling up and kept piling up. I couldn't even pay my light bill. I had to literally sacrifice being able to see because other things were more important. Feeding my children, just the things of the things. Making sure we have toiletries. We had water to wash our ass. That was important. It's real low. It's real bad when you have to choose in between necessities, in between things that you actually need to survive. And in my right mind, I'm like, okay, we're sacrificing the light bill. We can see the majority of the day. We don't necessarily need this electricity. There's ways around that. I know it sounds crazy, but this is the decisions that you have to make when you're just in such a fucked up situation. Meanwhile, I'm going through all this and I'm missing you all. I have no energy for myself. I barely have energy to speak to my children, to wipe my own ass, to, just barely having energy just for the day-to-day mundane things, let alone focus on my content. focus on my business. It was just all too much. Like I was going so far deep into a depression that I was contemplating on just leaving. I don't know where I was gonna go. I just wanted to leave. I just wanted to escape. I did not want to be a part of anything, this world, my kid's life, my own life. I wanted to escape. I literally wanted to just walk away. Just walk down the street and just keep walking. Take a bag and just walk. And I really, really started to understand that, sis, you're depressed as the fuck. This is not healthy for you. Something's gotta give. And I'm just swallowing it and I'm dealing with all this on my own. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with bullshit at the fucking job. Y'all, I have really been tested spiritually. And I'm really understanding the energy that I bring naturally into a room, into an environment, and what that does. I'm understanding my gifts and, just all the things of the things. Like, whew. That's a video for another day. But just know that my experience at Houlihan's was fucking hell. Racism, prejudice, bullshit. Yeah, this is a white world, y'all. This is very much a white world, and just you being black and just being confident can come off as aggressive to people. That's power. So let me rewind back a little bit. As I'm dealing with the stresses and the bullshit of working at Houlihan's. Meanwhile, I'm also getting evicted. As I'm getting evicted, I'm still working. I have that on my mental every day. I'm going to court. I don't know where I'm going at this time. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm estranged from my family. Like, I don't know. My first mind was, okay, we're going to figure out a rehousing program. We're going to figure out a shelter. That's where we're going. So I had it in my head, okay, we're going to a shelter, or I'm going to put a deposit down on a new apartment. Now, let me rewind back, y'all. Before I decided and just realized, like, oh yes, I'm evicted, this is what I need to do, like figure out the next step, I had intentions on paying my rent. So imagine busting your ass, getting your car stolen, getting it broken into, 10 days later, getting it stolen. You see it be stolen. You see it drive out of the parking lot as you're riding in the Uber to spend that $60 to get back and forth that day, to make the money to pay for the part that you're missing for the car because the car was vandalized, y'all. It was broken into. Do y'all just see all the boom, 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 boom? I was being hit from every single fucking angle. It was just so much. So imagine breaking your back, working 12s, not being able to spend time with your kids, just stressing, having to come home and meal prep for the next day, kiss your kids and go back to sleep and do it all over again the next day. Waking up, your kids are waking up and not having you in the house and just having to go and read the refrigerator to know the things to do, how to survive that day, because mommy can't be there because mommy's so stressed. It was so much. So in the midst of all that, I had finally, I was able to come up with $500 solid to give the apartment complex. And at this time, I was a month and maybe a week behind. Okay? And I had spoken with them. I was very vocal and let them know what was going on. Let them know about my car being stolen. I let them know about the vandalism. Oh, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all about the dead bodies in the apartment complex. Y'all, people getting shot left and right and shit. There was a dead body standing outside of my fucking building for hours. Like, just the bullshit, the audacity. And y'all, they started my eviction process without notifying me, without telling me, even though I was in communication with them and I was only a month and a week behind. So the day that I contacted, or the day that I went onto the online portal to pay said rent, tell me why in the fuck my account was restricted. It was shut down. I could not even make said payment, which would have only left me $650, maybe $700 to pay. I can make that in 3 or 4, maybe 5 days working at Houlihan's. So like, it was, you know what I'm saying, y'all? It was like, what the fuck? That was the final, like, whoop. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, what am I gonna do now? So boom, I know I'm getting evicted. Meantime, I'm working, I'm looking at apartments, all this. Y'all, you think I was gonna give them that $500 money order? You got me fucked up. No, I kept that money and I still have it today as a money order to serve as a partial down payment for my new place. So that is a blessing, y'all. I'm just sitting on $500 that I can't touch. Thank God. So, long story short, y'all, I'm still working and court comes around. And you remember I told you I'm estranged from my family. So I reached out to my younger sibling, my brother. And, you know, I was simply asking him to take me to court. I let him know I was getting evicted. And by the power of the Most High Mother, Father, okay, daughter and son, on the day of court, my brother revealed to me that he's already talked to his partner and he would like for me and my children to come and stay with him. Y'all, blessings on blessings on blessings. I was so relieved, y'all. Like, I'm still working, breaking my neck, breaking my back, and I'm just so thankful, because I really thought that me and my children were going to be in a shelter. And honestly, I mean, a shelter is not a horrible thing. I've been there, done that. However, I've been there, done that. So I really did not want to go back to a shelter. And if, you know, I can stay in a space with family and it be cohesive, why not do that? You know, blood ain't thicker than, or blood will always be thicker than water. Okay, period. So I just worked, and, you know, my brother, out of the kindness of his heart and his partner's heart, they packed my apartment up for me, y'all. Like, I gathered everything. Like, you know, I made sure everything was in the living room, but they got the U-Haul and, like, moved the stuff for me because I was working a double that day. They picked the kids up that day and fed the kids, you know, took them out to a restaurant, you know, made them feel nice, you know, got them settled into the new space. They cleaned out rooms for us, you know. It's been a blessing. You know, everything comes with a set of challenges, of course. And, you know, we'll talk about challenges in another video. But as of this video, just catching y'all up on the happenings and the goings on with my life. So I am now staying here with my brother. We've gotten the kids enrolled into school. You know, everything's flowing. Got them on the bus. So let me rewind back just a little bit. So you remember when I told you that, you know, I was working at Houlihan's. So I got fired. I got fired. And once I come with the story time about the absolute hell that I went through working at that job, you would just fully understand that chuckle there, okay? But it was just like the fucking audacity. So I was very sick one day. moving into my brother's house, it's been an adjustment. They do have animals, and, animals have fur and dander, and let's just say that there was a lot of it, and, pee and different stuff like that. We will get into that in another episode. Anywho, that's besides the point. So I was suffering real bad in one of these rooms, just real sick, but still trying to be humble and grateful, but my health was declining. Long story short, I had got real sick, and I was calling in that day. So I had called my job, and, I was seeing if they needed me to absolutely come in. I told them, I'm willing, but I am sick. I had spoke to the GM. Apparently the GM was not going to be the manager on duty that evening. So she was like, can you call back in 15 to 30 minutes, when the right manager is online? And I'm like, okay, sure, cool. So I did what I'm supposed to do. 1, I called y'all. I'm going above and beyond. 2, I dropped my shift on the onboarding employee site. So that's the proper precautions you're supposed to take. You're supposed to drop your shift and, essentially wait for somebody to claim it, although you're still responsible, or speak to someone, like if it's something, an emergency or something. Y'all, I took all the precautions. Y'all, when I say I was sick, a bitch fell asleep. I fell asleep. I got off the phone and went right to sleep. Like, hence, I'm calling and telling you I don't feel good. And I'm calling and calling in. I'm telling you I don't feel good. But the person I was on the phone, she's intimidated by me and feels some type of way about me because I don't want to share my life story with her no more. Because I don't want to be your friend. Weird shit. Y'all, never make friends with your GMs and managers, and always just know, as a black woman, they're watching and they're jealous, and there's some weird shit going on at all times. Always. Okay? Anywho. So since the blood was tainted on her end, she was feeling some type of way about my autonomy. She took it upon herself to fire me. Once I woke up from my nap, y'all, I had called up to the job. I had several messages from different employees and people that I was an acquaintance with at the job saying, they're saying it's a no call, no show, blah, blah, blah. So of course I call. Long story short, she answers. She's not supposed to be there though. She just told me, y'all, 2 hours ago when I talked to her to call back and talk to the other manager because she would not be there on duty in the next 15 to 30 minutes. So I need to call back because she's not in charge of that shift, right? So why are you answering the phone then? Oh, okay. So you're trying to be funny. So I already knew right then and there what was going to happen. I knew I was going to get fired. I knew I overstood the assignment. She got on the phone and she's like, Ami, where are you? I'm in the bed. I told you I wasn't feeling good. That's why I called in. I did fall asleep and I wasn't able to call back and talk to James. So, but I was basically like, where do we go from here? And she's like, well, that means it's a no call, no show. And unfortunately, we're going to have to part ways. I said, oh, okay, Victoria. Okay. And she's, and I just click. I hung up smooth on her face. There's nothing else to talk about. And I wish you would fix your mouth to be like, I love you, right? Because that was one of her favorite things. Bitch, you don't love me. Cracker asshole. Period. Don't play with me. Anyway, y'all, I'm getting angry again. I'm going to definitely have to make that video very soon. But saying all that to say that literally when I say the domino effect, the cards falling in, the house falling in, where's Dorothy? Everything was just going to fucking shit. And then I seen the light at the end of the tunnel. I had to change my perspective. I realized that my spiritual team literally threw me into newness. I literally have an opportunity to reshape, rebalance, refound, change my life on a solid ground, on a solid foundation. I'm able to look at myself, look at my flaws, my unhealthy and healthy patterns, the energy I bring. I'm able to sit with myself. I'm able to, for the next 2.5 months, I have the autonomy to just explore and stack my bread. That is a blessing. I'm in a space where I'm with family and my children are comfortable. My children are loved. Like there's a cohesive unit. I'm not used to it. I damn near don't know what to do with it. It's a beautiful thing, so life is interesting. And there's no rules to this thing. It's scary, it's exciting, it's exhilarating. It's been a lot, but I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm able to tell you about my journey. I'm able to tell you, I have testimonies, and I have lessons that I can now learn from, what not to do. Like, ouch, that didn't feel too good. Oh, you probably shouldn't smoke all your money away because you're making fast money every day. That does not mean that you have money to buy weed every day. If you're going to indulge in that, why not buy it in bulk and be smart? And then when you do buy it in bulk, don't smoke said bulk within a week, because said bulk is supposed to last you a month. Just because you're stressed, like, you know what I'm saying? I was so stressed, I was just chain smoking like a fucking sailor, And so in my mind, for the time being, I have to kind of demonize weed in my brain just for a little bit, just to psychologically, because I know myself. So I'm just learning a lot. And it's been a process. So throughout this video, y'all been seeing me in my new space. I like to call it the honey suite. This is our honey suite. It's blessed by Oshun, Mama Oshun. And honey, when I say she's been working fast, like, I got a new job, you all. I work at this really, really nice fine dining restaurant, okay? I'm moving on up in the ranks, y'all. I've worked very hard. I have a lot of experience in the food industry. So, it's always been a passion of mine to be a server in a fine dining restaurant. Like the prestige, the respect, the love, the honor, the just all the things that come with it. I love beautiful things. Like, I love how they have black cloths and everything is pointed in the perfect direction, and you have to be extremely articulate and immaculate, and I love all of that. I love the fact of pouring the wine out a certain way and collecting and putting your dishes down on two separate, just everything about the food industry, catering, dining, service. I love that shit. So I've worked all these little small, minuscule, minute little, little peasant jobs. The Chili's and the Applebee's and the Waffle Houses and the Mexican restaurants that you'll never get paid to live a motherfucking livable wage, because they only tip $4, $5, $6 motherfucking dollars. Okay, Mexicans and black folks is the same, y'all. Like, we don't like to tip like that collectively. Okay, and it came from all of that. Then I moved to Hula Hands, where it's like, it's not necessarily fine dining, but it's like the fine dining in like the Applebee's Chili's department. Like, it's like the creme de la creme with that. So like, I was like in the middle. Now I'm like, really, I'm going up there. I'm going up there. Like, so the place I work at now is called Cooper's Hawk. Okay. And those of y'all that know about that place, it is a winery first, restaurant second. When I say, y'all, like, we're talking $50, $100 plates. We're talking salads for $20. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking like you come to this place knowing that you're going to become a member of the wine club. So you're spending upward of $500 plus. What do you think someone's going to be tipping on a $500 bill? Okay, so you catch my drift, right? Okay, so I'm going from a bracket of, let's say, $15 plates, $20 plates, where, I'll get tipped $5, anywhere between $5 to $25 on whatever ticket, just whatever ticket, right? Let's say someone comes in at Hula Hands and spends $200. I'll get tipped under 50, which is great. That's still great, and then you count your other tables. But just think about that. Think about that good money, and now the money I'll be making now. So again, let's say the bill is $100 at Hula Hands. Maybe I get tipped 20, 25. Let's say the bill, because the bill can't stack up that much at a place like Hula Hands or a place like Applebee's or Chili's. Y'all see where I'm coming from? But at a place like Cooper's Hawk or Miranda 72 or whatever it's called, or Seasons 59. At places like this, there will be no other option but to tip decently, because you're paying hundreds of dollars to dine out. So if you're paying $200, $300 to dine out, you're going to be tipping over $50. That's just a given. So just imagine me getting a $50 tip from each table or more. That's a blessing. Hey now, hey now, hey. Period. So we're making moves. Yeah. So here we are. This is what life is going to be for now. This is our space for now. This is our transitional period. And lastly, I just want to say that I'm thankful. I'm just extremely thankful. I'm on the road to get my new channel monetized. That's Omniverse 2.0. All right. So if you're watching from the original page, please run over there and follow the page. I will make sure I leave it linked down in the description box below. But before I get out of here, y'all, I just want to encourage you to never give up on you. Change your perspective and know that nothing happens to you, but through you and for you. Keep your mind clean. Keep your space clean, organized. As above, so below, so within, so without. Ashe.